I'm Jackie Holmher.
So we're part of the IT team, what we call the cool part of IT that gets out in front of people versus the nerdy IT people
That you don't know about.
that you
Never
may
see.
So
probably
which
never
part is
see
Glenn?
that do
I'm a
that
nerd.
stuff. So we're part of the innovation team and try to help teachers integrate tech. So we're doing, we actually decided that you guys were automatically ready for 201 instead of 101.
Wow.
So it's going to be a little bit of a hybrid because 101 is, I don't know.
Like the buttons, yours, the
It's about-
hardware, that kind of thing, and you all
It's about
have been
buttons,
using it
and I was
already.
like, I think we're gonna show you 2 buttons that might be handy, but that's it. And one of us, like, this is a slide deck that we're gonna use to help me remember everything that we're gonna cover. So we're gonna do slides, but then I'm basically gonna show you all how to do it on the panel. And Jackie is gonna be Dana White, maybe. We just tag team. It's pretty fluid between the 2 of us. Yeah, oh, do you guys, before we get into this, we have lots to talk about, but do you guys have any burning questions about SMART? And I know you have the weirdo thing that,
Should I ask?
Like,
Oh,
like
wow.
if I write on the whiteboard, and everything will just kind of needle out. So,
yeah,
but they were gonna talk about that.
and it's, we updated her board, so hopefully that took care of it.
When I do like a lesson on the smart board, I'd wanna know how to write on that lesson, like how to notate.
Yeah.
You'll probably cover that.
We do to some extent, and I am not, so the good thing is that we have both a smart panel and a clear touch panel, and like 90% I've been doing both training. We both have been doing both trainings for a little while, and about the only thing, they're very, very similar in what they do. But the one thing that clear touch edges out, like that makes them a little bit better, is the annotation piece. It just makes it like, it's super simple. As soon as you pick up a pen, you can write, and not that you can't on the smart, but for better or worse, when you do that, when you pick up your pen to annotate over something, it goes into
Like a
what's going on
screenshot
with-
snap.
with
Oh,
that.
oh,
It
it
keeps
does-
dropping
it
my
does
stuff.
that.
Click on the little up at the top, Jackie, you minimized it.
It does that sometimes. Hold on. Let me get the code if I can.
See, you're with experts, and now I
Well,
would drop
I know
the
how
network.
to
Yeah,
do it
there we
on
go.
there,
There we
but
go.
I'm wondering, I have a smart board in my
Alright.
room, if I
So
can do it on there.
Yours is a smart board? Okay,
Yes.
great.
what it does is, when you do when as soon as you pick up a pen on a smart panel, it goes into, it does a screen capture. You'll hear a click, like somebody took a
Okay.
picture, and it's doing, again, I don't know if that's a feature or flaw, it just depends on how you look at it. That picture allows you, as soon as you're annotating, like say you wanna draw over a Google slide or whatever, it's screenshotting the annotation and then saving it, so that then maybe you need to share that later with your kids. Whereas on the clear touch, you pick up the pen and you're just writing immediately, like just kind of impromptu.
That's
type
what
of
I
thing.
wanna do.
But it doesn't
Okay.
save that unless you go into, right.
Okay.
So it's just, I don't know which one's better or worse, but
So on the clear touch, when you do that, if you scroll down, does it scroll also, or does it stay on
I don't know, we can test that here in
Okay.
a minute, or,
Okay.
we're actually like screen sharing now, so it's not a true,
Yeah, so we're just mirroring. at this
right,
point.
I'm just mirroring
Right.
my laptop on that right
Right.
now.
And that's
Well,
kinda
I'm
what I've been
saying-
doing on the smart
But-
board.
that? I like
On the-
clear touch, and I have a clear touch, but somebody, I don't know where I got this, but somebody said that you want me not be servicing them anymore.
No, well, it depends, like I can tell just, well, I think, maybe that's the size they got. I don't know, I can't remember.
Yeah,
It
the
depends,
size.
because some schools already had smart and clear touch in their buildings. So if it was part of the JCPS ones that we bought last year, right, then those will be serviced. I think they have like a 5 to 7 year contract with both clear touch, well, not directly, it's through the resellers like Schoolhouse, Technology, and
Creative Images, or
Images.
Smart.
They're the ones who are gonna be servicing those for 5 years or whatever the contract said. But let's say that one was bought 3 years ago, that may be not being serviced anymore, cause it's an older one that was just already in the building.
Yeah, we've had
So-
the existing clear touches since, I think at least 2018.
Yes, so I mean, it depends on what you guys buy, cause sometimes you can extend out a warranty or whatever. So you all would have to dig in to see if it's still if it's under warranty, or if you guys got something.
I did talk to Jason VC at Schoolhouse, and when he comes back, he had a motorcycle wreck, so he's
Oh, no.
kind of out of commission right now. But when he comes back, he and I are going to go through the inventory in
Okay.
state agency and figure out what's keeping and what's not.
Yeah, my guess is that this
Yeah,
was an
he's the
older
one
one,
that
just
we
because
dealt
it looks a
with.
little bit smaller.
I remember
I
his
think.
name, he's the one that we
But
dealt
it's a
with.
little hard for me to tell because it's mounted.
Can we mount these?
The schools had to decide, like principals, or you guys have a principal, right? Or
An AP.
An AP, whoever, somebody in charge that made the decision for
Oh.
the site as to whether they were gonna be on carts or mounted.
Same for
That was
smart
probably
board.
Heather, 'cause,
Yeah,
So we could
Heather.
go through the principal actually.
Well, this
She's
was
the
like a
principal
year
of the
ago, that decision
13.
was made, but that
Oh.
giant order for,
Can you take lots of stand?
I'm sure that you can if you guys work out, but they're not gonna come back and retroactively do that unless you guys pay them. I'm sure they will be happy to do that if you
I'm
pay
sorry,
them
who
to
is
do it.
they?
Like Clear Touch, or
Schoolhouse.
Schoolhouse Technology,
They would be the ones,
yes,
Why
more
they
than
don't.
likely. I
Okay.
don't think like JCPS maintenance is gonna do something like that. I may be
Okay.
wrong on that, but
Okay.
when we initially bought everything, that was part of Schoolhouse and Creative Images when they were doing the install. If a school decided for them to be mounted, they were doing that. Or if you
Okay.
decided, to me, this is, I know it's a pain in the butt because those wheels are so, the base of that thing is so big, but it does provide a lot of flexibility if you guys need to move this. Somebody else takes over this room, or you're moving rooms, you can take your panel versus this, that's here forever and ever, basically.
Unless you have one, I mean, and if you have one that's already mounted, like it could be something like this that you have. And this could be even, and I don't really know how you all, how the students interact or whatnot, like they can maybe even have this as a station if it works that way, but again, I'm not really sure how to go correctly.
I have another question.
Sure.
Just, and again, you may bring this up later, but how to split the screen if the annotation is not good on the smart board?
On a smart board to split the screen,
On a smart board, I don't think you can.
So I'd have to use a tab on my computer and HDMI it. That's what I've been doing.
So you're asking, like, to be able to show this way?
Yeah, so if I pull up a program, which I've been doing, I've been using that
Yes.
instead of Google Classroom. I don't know how to annotate on it, so I'm just using like a Google Doc on my computer and switching tabs.
And again, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to visualize it, you are annotating on a lesson of yours.
Yeah, so like if I pull up a social studies lesson and I wanna make notes on it, sometimes within that program I can, or math.
so the weird thing, oh no.
Or I use a tab with a Google Doc and I write notes on it on my computer and I go back and forth on the tab. I'd rather not do that.
Yeah, so what kind of lesson, like for instance, what's a lesson created?
Well, like math. If I was doing a math lesson, I don't know how to write on the math lesson. I'm writing on my whiteboard. I don't really like having to go back
Sure.
and forth.
Yeah, but like,
So-
so you're saying you've got your math lesson up here,
Mhm.
right? Maybe Google Slide or something like that, I don't know, whichever.
It's a program.
Oh, it's a program,
Like
so it's
Kelly has
online program.
whatever that thing is,
Illustrative,
Clear
right?
Touch. Yeah.
Illustrator.
Oh, Illustrator.
Kelly has Clear Touch, so you know we know how
You
to
can write,
annotate on there.
yes.
So when I do it in my room,
Mhm.
I have to write on the whiteboard. I don't know how to write on it.
So did you hear that click?
Yeah,
And then the green,
yeah. I think you kind of already answered that.
yeah.
It's gonna take a while to absorb.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, then that's how you would be able to
Oh,
annotate.
well, there you go, right
This
there.
way, however, you cannot move it up or down
So
anymore.
now
It's a
it's
picture,
locked.
right? It's
Oh.
a screenshot, It just-
So now,
Well, that's okay.
That's a
so
screw.
that's gonna try, when I close out of this X, it's gonna
Ah.
say, do you wanna save
Oh,
this, as potentially this, like Jackie scribbling is the most important thing that we've seen all day.
Yeah.
So she's gotta share that with her kids, so we're gonna save it, but it may be impromptu, so we're gonna discard. And now,
Now it's
we're gonna
back
go
to normal.
down and say,
okay, well, that answers that.
this,
How did you get to the pin setting after you clock?
It got automatic. So once you click on, push on it, it takes that picture and now it's a screenshot.
Can you
capture.
change the ink color
Yeah, sure.
of that pen right there? Right.
So whatever
Oh.
color you want, whatever thickness you prefer.
Oh, I was trying to get the pin
Yeah,
without the
there we go.
Okay,
You want to bold it, well, really important
so
stuff.
now,
okay,
it's
And-
not gonna let me, because it's a
okay,
screenshot.
that answers
Yeah.
that.
That's
Now-
great.
All right, so I could do like
Discard
one
that.
problem at a time, okay.
Now I'm gonna go down here,
Oh,
like this is important. So,
okay.
You should
So
hear it and
whether-
then you should
I
see
do.
the screen
Yeah,
right
see
around.
green.
That'll be helpful too in case you have kids that get pulled out in the middle for like a family
Yeah,
session or
I could go
something, 'cause
back
then
to what we did,
you can save it and
yeah.
Yeah.
show them later and they'll see exactly what they missed.
do
Yeah.
this, and hit save, and it says, these will be in your files library.
In the file, okay.
Is
that's
that
what I
hard
was
to
wondering.
find?
So you go home,
Oh,
And it's files.
Oh, okay. Okay. There it is.
oh,
Okay.
Oh, cool.
can I rename the files? I'm asking so many questions.
No, no,
Yeah, that's-
I would think
that's what we're here for, so don't worry. We can, I don't know.
It's got that little pin on the left, I wonder if that's an edit
So
thing.
it's, where are you seeing the pin?
The little blue, on the actual, yeah.
So
Oh,
that's,
that's-
there it is.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect.
Hey, good job.
Okay.
Something else that I haven't showed you
Yeah,
yet,
we can try
is
this.
this,
Hey.
which is super duper handy.
Thank you.
It's a wireless keyboard, so instead of dealing with that thing, which I think is a pain in the butt,
Oh,
you go
Oh,
up
nice.
here, and you're like,
Oh, wow.
Especially those long passphrases,
right, when you. well,
Yeah.
sometimes you have to deal with.
So you need to log in on this, basically.
Yeah, we're gonna show you that too
Okay.
here in just
So
a
you,
second.
instead of mirroring it, you
That's
log in.
practice, at least
Yeah.
that would be it. Now, if you're not at that point, you know, that's why we're here to kind of show you, but again, some people are comfortable in different ways at this time, and they use different, like, for instance, Disney, that's our biggest one. By logging
There
in
might
using
be
it
a
as a standard.
need next week.
Might be.
a need next week for some movies, right? Maybe.
Ah.
Maybe.
Sure.
What's he saying?
So.
As a standalone though, you cannot collect it. Alright, as
Oh.
it's just, if you sign in as a standalone, what you would need to do is take that HDMI cord, put it to your computer, play Disney this way, of course again, then as a mirroring, and then you can show it. It blocks Disney as a standalone.
like, we're doing a
So there's
movie
no
right
way.
now on Amazon, would that be blocked?
It's not blocked, so the way,
No, yeah,
it, this is nerdy stuff. But they're basically like, think of this, both of these, doesn't matter. They both run the same operating system that is on my Android phone.
Okay,
Is what, these are giant phones, is
Okay.
basically what they are, okay? And this is actually, the Android version I have on this little bitty phone is actually better
oh,
than these, cause I can run Disney and all that stuff on this phone, no problem. But this version of Android will not play Disney Plus or Netflix. It might play something on, just depends on the company. Like Prime, I think
What's
runs
doing
on
it?
these,
Amazon.
but Netflix and Disney
Disney
don't,
does.
or Hulu runs on one
Disney
of them.
actually does not, yeah, it just depends on where you're
Just so you
going.
can't mirror your computer on this.
You can't. Go ahead, Jay.
So if
It's
we're,
like, just right here.
so but if we pull, I'm probably asking a stupid question, but if we pull up Disney on our computer and do the
mirror.
HDMI. we can do-
Yes.
Okay.
HDMI
Alright.
or mirror it.
Well, but mirroring, yes, will technically work, but what we're seeing is lots of complaints. But remember, if you're mirroring, you're going through that
Yeah.
device,
Ah.
not
So
down
there's a
here.
lot of,
Laggy.
It's
Yeah,
laggy.
that's what we're dealing with, that's what Janice and I are dealing with between her computer and that with the mirroring, is it's so laggy. My MacBook, no lag.
Right.
It's the weirdest thing.
So-
I noticed that this week.
If you're gonna do video, that's our recommendation, is to do it through
I just
HDMI.
Yeah,
So
that's
with
what I
the
did.
Yeah.
clear touch though, it's USB, right? That's what I,
That's HDMI's, but the,
You do either.
Oh,
I use USB.
okay,
Yeah.
maybe,
And it works.
Generally, the USB is for touch capabilities, not necessarily getting
Oh, there's
video
no
through.
touch capabilities with it.
But we can look into that too. What else you guys got? Does that make sense? So there's like, it's actually one of our slides, it's like the multiple ways to, like signing into the panel, mirroring, that's it, right?
So that's one with HDMI but no touch. This one's mirroring, and then this one is HDMI with touch capability, and then this is the standalone.
Where
that
you're
just
signing into
using
the
this,
panel.
everything else of yours is free for you to use.
How do we set up the mirroring process?
For this one would be collage. For this one, we started for you already, but it's called Smart Mirror. For anybody else though, what you would do? It's going slow. It's our first time using this one.
Oh.
There it is.
We just updated, and then there's the code for you to use on your computer, and then it mirrors, and you're
You need an
still
app
sharing
on
your
your
screen.
computer, or we
Go
just go
ahead.
to Smart Mirror?
Can you do that? Just go to a tab and type in Smart Mirror link, dot link. Should ask you for a
And-
code here in a minute.
So we have to go to that website every time.
The kids, like you would, or the kid, either one.
Yes.
Um,
As an FYI, if you decide to use Smart Mirror, up to 4 people can join this link, and then they can, in a moment, you'll be seeing, if you all do join, you'll see like a list of people, and then all of those 4 people can share their screens. So if you, let's say, had a student that, you know what, you're doing really good work, I want you to be able to show this work to everybody else, so I wanna show. So let's go ahead and share yours. You're on there, you click on that student's name, it'll come up as a list, you click on the student name, their screen. Now, I will say, it'll invite them to share. It's best not to go default without the invite, because you don't know what they're going to share.
Let's get a picture.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay, I was like, what was I doing? Yes.
How did you get to
Out of
that?
the way, Jackie.
Sorry, what?
How did you get to that?
To this part, okay,
Wow.
so, now, I will, do you wanna show something else on this one? So Kelly, you're in.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, perfect. So now, we invite you to present, we'll come back to that, how to get there, but, and then you'll say yes to present. There
You
should be a
have to
prompt coming
choose,
up.
like desktop or whatever you wanna share.
So we don't have to get the app, this, we don't,
It's all
so we
like that.
can?
There is no
There's no
app. It's
Oh.
all just that Smart
With
Mirror.
collage, you do.
And so now Kelly is, you guys are way ahead of us. That's okay, we'll circle back.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, and then you can start sharing however you want.
Okay.
That
But
way.
the big thing that we kind of glossed over is that as soon as Jackie and I got here, we updated this
Mhm.
board
Mm.
to do Smart Mirror. So if you guys go back in
So we'll come back to that.
and you go to screen share,
Oh,
well,
yeah,
Yeah,
right?
show
Hold on,
something
let me
Okay.
just show, you guys go into screen share, you guys might be on the old, what was that called, Smart,
Some smart, I forget.
It's not
now.
Smart
Not,
Mirror.
yeah, Smart Mirror.
It's not the
Smart
purple
screen,
thing.
screen share, smart
Smart
screen
Screen
share.
Share.
Yeah.
That's
with
the
blue
old
notebook.
version. So if you see that, Jackie will walk you
Okay,
through.
so with this whole thing, you're here on your main, like, home, you click on settings. And once you get to the part where it says screen share, right here, click on that.
And
It
you'll-
says smart mirror, cause we updated, just when we walked in, we updated for that on there, but you all probably have a smart screen share.
Ah.
So all you do is click, I just touched something very sensitive.
Yep.
All you need to do is just click on that, it'll say, the menu will pop up, it'll say, do you wanna download, and you just click download.
Can you show us the update real quick where you go and update their
Update.
boards?
Their boards, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So then to update your board altogether,
Oh.
again, on settings right here,
I'm gonna go back home,
Yep.
Jackie, so we can
Yep.
see it.
settings, okay. Alright, scroll, oh, well, you don't need to, sorry, I had to, and where it says software update.
Oh, okay.
Yep, okay. On that, we're ready to install. However, we're all up to date because when we walked in here, we updated the board. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes depending, and it just updates automatically.
Yeah, and then you may have to do this too, because it's like install this now, but we don't wanna do that, because we don't. I don't wanna wait on a software install in front of you all.
So what is the, QR code for?
They can use the QR code or the number code.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, either way.
Oh,
So, if,
okay.
you know, if you had the phone, you could do it that way, or you can use the number code.
Oh, to share.
Just, yes,
To
yes, to
mirror
screen
it.
share
Okay.
smart, yep.
Okay.
And your smart mirror, wait, no, that's not it. No, I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember the ID is, they're different, your class ID versus your smart mirror ID, that's,
So to get the number to pop up to screen share,
okay.
Yep.
So,
you can share screen share.
That's great.
now they're great.
Yeah.
Good problem.
If that does anything. There it is.
Oh.
Yeah, but normally that's all you should be able to have to do, is just
Okay.
click on screen share, this will pop up, and then, these numbers do change, on you, so.
So just like the collage does?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, that's what the session, okay, yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
There's Janice.
Yep.
You'd like to present?
Janice, okay, sorry. Do you have, can both of you try joining for us for just a moment? Or, and then Janice, if you wanted to, you're more than welcome to share to see how it looks like that way, that's fine too.
What was that?
I'll come back to the.
Smart mirror?
Yes.
Smartmirror.link, I think.
So that, I'm sorry, this is another stupid question. I didn't
No,
know
no
about
stupid
mirror.
questions.
I'd never heard of that before. So that would be kind of like in a Zoom when you're sharing your screen, but you could use the kids in the room
Mhm.
to share their screen.
Up to
Right.
4.
Okay,
Only 4 can join,
okay.
and then you have to get
I don't know
4
about
other
that.
ones to.
Rotate them out, reset, yeah,
Yeah.
whichever way, it'll kick, or it won't let some others in. So now Kelly, sorry, not Kelly, what Kelly?
Yeah, Kelly.
No, but you're
Janice.
Janice. Oh, okay, gotcha, sorry. So Janice, yeah, Janice is sharing her screen right now, so now.
I'm just
we go
waiting,
back-
it's buffering, it's coming.
Oh, no.
Kelly, explain this join. So this will probably gonna kick everybody out real quick.
Yeah, it may.
That's right. Go to home,
Yeah.
so now you
Oh,
can see.
perfect.
Oh.
And
You have a
we
little
can
different.
do.
Oh,
little
man.
content.
Watch
Let's go
this
back
trick.
to,
Go to settings,
Settings?
Jackie.
this is where we all, session management. Moderator mode, turn it on,
Watch.
okay, enable now.
You guys all have to join again, I think, but watch
Well, we'll
this.
see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry,
Six
it'll
two
be
seven
worth
oh
it.
53. We just need more than one person to join. It'll help, be more helpful that way.
So now what we
Janice is
just
up.
turned on is called grid view.
Janice is coming, one more person, great,
Oh, yeah.
alright. Oh, okay. There we go, okay, great.
So
Coming
we're
in,
gonna invite
so it's,
Janice,
And then
and
let's
we're gonna
invite Glenn.
invite Glenn, and now look.
You can have 2
Oh.
screens.
Wow.
Or you can have up to 4. You can have 4 screens
Oh,
all at
okay.
one time, as long as you
All
invite
at one
everyone,
time,
right?
okay.
Yeah, if you want. So that's what the grid view does for you. And then all 4 people's,
So if you
Your
guys
screens, and then
should
if you
have
all
an
say yes,
invitation.
both of yours would come up right
So, and this, even if you're doing it by yourself, is pretty handy if you happen to have 2 devices, right? Which there are lots of Chromebooks floating around JCPS, so you could do this. You could bring up a rubric on one device and then student writing or whatever on the other one, so you can show kids simultaneously, even if it's just you.
Mhm.
there.
Do
And
it.
this may kind of work a little bit for what you're mentioning as the split screen,
Right.
right? It's a kind of
Yeah, I could,
roundabout way,
I
but
could put like notes or something
Yes.
on one computer and pull it up
Yeah.
and have the lesson on the other.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that would work.
Yeah,
And
you
if
could do your slides on
need, I
one.
probably have an extra computer for you somewhere.
yeah. I'd still rather write on it.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Right,
that's gonna
yes.
get a little tricky, but
Okay.
remember, you're only screen mirroring, so you're not gonna be writing per
I would have
se.
to have it already.
Yes, does
Oh.
that make sense? 'Cause
I'm
you
probably
would-
not that organized, okay.
And there may be another trick if you guys like what we're
Yeah,
showing you.
we
We
can
have
do
a
that.
whole nother training on Smart called Lumio, which might also be a
That,
way around,
as long
maybe.
as, but,
especially with the annotation part.
right, but it is illustrated math, so I'm not 100% sure, because Lumio, what it would do, for example, and this could be the next part, again, the next part we would come in, but you take your slides, you just download it into Lumio software, And at that point, if it's a Lumio lesson, let's just say it like that, it's a Lumio lesson, then it doesn't have to be a screenshot. It works a lot like here, where you're writing right on top of your slides, your lessons, and it's still dynamic, and it's not just a screenshot. But yeah, you would just,
But with Illustrator
that's a
Math,
whole, yeah.
it's a whole nother
Illustrative
training.
And I
Math
don't
is
know if that
not
would work.
Illumio? Oh,
No.
It's two separate things.
okay.
All right, Jake, what
Alright.
else we got?
Let's see, we've got this. We have our recents. You wanna show favorites?
Yeah. So, you got two sides of this panel, what you last did and then your favorite. So this is super important, which it is. Notice that arrow I drew, super important, so I'm gonna do the star.
Oh, okay.
And now,
Favorites, okay.
How'd you get in?
Oh,
Anything you need in life.
it
so
just
now it's,
Star.
I put that little
Ah.
star, and now it's over here.
To your favorite.
it's in
How
both
did you
places
get-
though.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, cause this is the most recent that you've had. Let's just say
Okay.
you've been going on, and but you know, you didn't put it in the favorites, then it would not show over
How do you
here.
unfavorite it?
Same.
Let's start.
Yeah,
Oh.
okay, just hit it again.
So one thing that, like, if you have a bunch of websites that you know you're gonna be using over and over again, that could get it just depends, relatively junky, but you could make a Google Doc, right? With 10 of your top,
With the hyperlinks.
with the hyperlinks, and just favorite that
Ah.
one Google Doc,
Yeah.
and then you could jump.
Oh,
I know.
Just depends on how you
Right,
want
and that way it helps that you don't have to put up the URL and everything all the time too. You just
Yeah.
clicks and opens that up that way, so.
On your keyboard, what brand keyboard?
Yeah,
is it?
oh yeah, we skipped over this, so this is super handy, right? You guys still, anybody still have some of that Amazon money left? Remember
Yes.
the 250? So
Yeah.
this is the, it's called the Logitech. It's the name of the wireless keyboard, the K400.
And I think they're like $20.
$20 to
Oh,
$30.
that's great.
Not a bad deal for, it's just
Yeah.
convenience, right, to have
So-
something like that.
Yeah,
for
so
nothing.
to me, I do this,
LGITEC.
yeah. Logitech.
is it different than a couple of years ago? I have a few at my house.
You could try that, no,
Yeah.
try those. And then
Yeah.
all you
Yeah.
do is, here's the dongle that we have right in ours, right here. We just got a little USB thing here, right?
Yeah.
Goes with it, plug it in, and it
Yeah.
should work that way.
Huh.
Yeah, I have an older one at home too, mine's just huge, but, yeah,
They
it
make
still
little
works.
Mice.
Yeah,
Mice.
yeah.
So to me,
The mouse
Yeah.
works on here too.
a lot of
I
people,
have had Logitech wireless nicely forever.
Yeah.
I love it.
you know, they have the presenter thing, the clicker things, to
Uh-huh.
me, those are fine, but I like having this mouse pad
Oh,
and the
yeah.
keyboard, so, cause I'm always on a website somewhere, and that clicker, you're not gonna be able to go up here and type in if you wanna go to wherever. So having that trackpad and the keyboard,
Nice.
and it works like 90 feet away, so.
Right,
Oh, wow.
basically,
Okay.
so you can be at your desk, you
Yeah.
can be
You
logging
can be walking
in.
around the room,
Oh,
checking
yeah.
everything.
Yep, I can go right over to Glenn if he's having an issue and he'll be able to, right? So I really, really can't say enough good things about something so cheap that works so well,
Yeah.
so.
Definitely a saver.
All right, Jackie, what's,
So
what
we've
else
got our
we got?
favorites, adding the favorite, we
Yeah.
discussed on that one, the screen shade, here we go.
Yep. So this is a little bit, one of the buttons that we wanna tell you about, they're like the home button and inputs and volume and stuff, but the screen shade is nice if you, it just covers up.
You don't want them to see what's going on just
Yeah,
yet,
I've wanted
Oh.
that.
then you
So
click
if
on
you're
the screen shade.
mirroring, this is especially important if you're mirroring and you're like, I gotta do something in Infinite Campus, and
Yeah.
I don't want them to
Right.
see that, you
Yeah.
screen shade.
Okay, how did you do it again? I just missed it.
Was it
Third
same?
one?
Oh, I never knew what that was.
Yep.
Thing.
It's the
Oh.
third one over
Okay.
from the left,
Okay.
and what we'll do is, that looks just like that, and then here's there's the actual thing, but
Uh-huh.
we can send you all over the slide deck that has
Yeah.
those buttons that'll tell you exactly too. That's the 101, but we can send you both.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's just like that. And then another something is instead of, if you don't want it to do the screen shade, you can do a freeze. So,
Oh.
if you want to try
This
that.
pause looking button,
Yeah, it looks like that.
and so
Oh, okay, so.
if I was screen mirroring, this would be, in essence, does the same thing, but the kids still see
They can have that, but you are also free to do other things you need to do on your computer.
And
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
If they're still working on something and you wanna do something else while they're finishing,
Oh,
Yes.
you can
nice.
still see what they're doing.
Yep, you
Right.
freeze
Oh,
the
cool.
screen here because you're there, you just, it's a freeze, you know, like one of those on the projectors. You
Yeah.
freeze. Alright, now I gotta work on my other stuff.
Yep.
I'm gonna take it
and
down.
then,
Oh, yeah, that, cause I know, I've been trying to do that, and I was
Having
instead
the projector freeze.
shutting it off.
yep.
I just
So,
turned it
but
off.
the key thing is 5 minutes from now, because you've been working with
You
Johnny,
forget.
you're gonna forget
Yes.
that you froze the screen, you're gonna be, what's wrong with this
Oh.
stupid
If
thing?
it's a video, will that video keep playing, like if it's CNN, okay.
But then if you keep poking on it, it's gonna be like, hey dummy, you
Ah.
froze me,
Oh,
and then
Yeah.
eventually you'll figure it out. But at first, you're gonna be like, stupid smartboard's broken.
yeah.
But it's not.
You've done it before, so, yeah, several times, so you knew,
Yeah,
like, it'll
yeah,
happen.
we do it a lot. We're like, what's wrong with it now? We froze it.
Alright, so here's the sign.
Yeah, so I signed in, that's another thing that I secretly did, before you all got here, so it's, I mean, when it's,
Right here on the bottom, it'll say sign in.
Yeah.
So you sign it into your board, and for example, if you have Lumio files or whatever, then it pulls up this way since you're signed in on the board.
and again, you know, we showed you that slide, there are different use case scenarios of why you wanna sign into the board versus not, or, you know, doing that HDMI, so any of those, you know, if you're showing a documentary through Disney and all that, that's an HDMI from
Don't
your
need that.
Chromebook.
Will you
Yeah.
sign in all the tabs that I have open on my computer, or is it gonna be the same tabs? Okay,
Nope, it doesn't work quite
Yeah.
like that.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, it doesn't have your bookmarks, it doesn't have your favorites, yes.
Like, you'll see if you guys invite us back, if we do Lumio training, that's the big bonus of signing in to the board itself. Is anything that you do from Lumio will follow you board to board. I mean, most of you guys probably have your own room, but if you were a teacher that moved around, that's a big deal. Plus, if you're working at Lumio, it's like their version of Google, right? You're doing stuff in the cloud, so you can do all this cool stuff we're about to show you. You can do that at home, like through Lumio, and then you come in and magically it's on your board.
It's like a Google Drive that comes with you, but it's
Right.
Lumio's Drive,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you're signing into Lumio
Yeah.
in that way.
That's the big selling point of signing in.
And it communicates, and it's, Google friendly, so even in the, your Google Drive, and probably, many of us probably didn't realize it, but in your Google Drive in the waffle, if you click on it, it's actually in there as well, so.
So we can
So-
leave.
I've never seen this section where you sign in and out before, so is there something to click on to bring that up if it doesn't come up?
Yeah, it's always there, it's little, look how little it is.
Yeah, it's just this, but it wouldn't be Jack, it would be like a
I'll
human
sign out,
icon.
'cause
Okay,
I-
yeah,
Oh,
you're gonna sign out?
Yeah,
Okay.
cause with my keyboard, I
Oh,
don't
you're
care.
doing that,
Mhm.
But I'll show you what it looks like.
Yeah.
It may take it a minute, but it's just a little people
Mhm.
icon up there.
Oh, like a little silhouette thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then we-
like, yeah, a little, yeah.
Yep.
a little face.
Perfect, yes.
And
Sign
then
in to person.
that's varies, I mean, there's a lot going on up there, so if you're not looking for that little bitty icon.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I mean, like, what is this? And like, we had to just touch, and at first we were scared to touch. We're like, oh, we're gonna break it. No, we just touched. And like, same thing here goes for clear touch. Like, you'll barely see these little tabs right here, like, oh, yeah, that's right, I forgot, unless you were just messing with it a bit.
So when I go up to this little person, it brings up the sign in, and this is why you want one of these, cause this is a pain in the butt to sign in if you don't have it, cause it has that on-screen keyboard, which I don't like. If you just sign in with Google like anything else.
So if you just click on that little circle, it'll bring up a keypad.
Yes,
does.
it brings up the keypad, right, exactly, yep. So, and then, of course, having this, even just that back end of our emails, that takes a
And I can't
moment.
spell.
And then when you mess up your password phrase, like me, about 2 times at least, and then
Can't
you're
do
fine.
that number password.
I don't know what however, this is much more, if you are using Lumio, it would probably be best for you to sign in. you're not using Lumio right now, then you don't necessarily need to sign in yet. So we don't wanna put you on to that pathway just yet, because there's, you know, there is a lot when it comes to this, so, don't stress on this part just yet, but we just wanted to at least show you that, yes, you can sign in on the board, you can use the board, and because Lumio is cloud-based, it goes everywhere, so we're going to a different room because there's something going down here. Then I'm signing into that board, and you can grab all your lessons still now.
When should we sign up for the next training? Because I'm wondering if you all are still being trained, or,
No, absolutely. So we wanted to make sure we came in and you all liked it first, and then we can go ahead and go on to the Lumio part, and we'll set it up with Glenn on a different day, whatever works for you all. If it's another, you know, if it's another like staff meeting, I don't know if you all always have Friday 10:45 morning staff meetings or not. So something like that. We do prefer smaller groups like this, just more into, right? It's like you can ask us questions and your personal needs.
So after all that, I'm signing. It's a little bit of
There's
Oh.
a few minutes, but especially minutes saved, like those favorites that I had. And so,
You know what's nice about the keyboard is the kids aren't watching you type your password in on the screen like they do on the clear touches, yeah.
Absolutely,
Oh,
yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, see your names,
Yeah.
because sometimes the passphrasing, right, has the last letter
Yeah.
pops up and everything.
What's next,
Okay.
Jackie?
All right. Going, so we already signed it in, doing all that, and then
So
this
that's-
part.
Yeah.
You wanna do that? Okay.
You good?
All right. So here we go. On in the theory part.
I think you have to do it.
Do I have to do? Oh, I have to open a smart whiteboard. All it really is instead of using the pen, you can use your fingers. So you have the students just use their fingers. They can get up here, 4 or 5 of them just standing around instead of waiting for the pen to be finished. All right. So if you do it this way, then which one do I
Yeah,
push?
Jack.
Again. Which one?
It's the pen icon.
Thank you. That.
What
No,
was
Yeah,
this
I
called?
couldn't get mine to work.
the thing.
This is the whiteboard.
I didn't realize there was a spinner and dice and stuff.
I didn't.
Widgets?
Maybe you were right.
Yep.
Was it in settings? We should look at
I always
smart
miss this.
whiteboard, enable,
Yeah, but
that's why we have slides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's under there.
it should be under there. Yeah.
That's some of the people, right? Look.
No, that's a
No,
different,
that's
should be right
Yeah,
here.
it is.
Okay.
Come on. I bet it's because we haven't done that update, remember,
I
on
know,
the
I
free
trouble with
install.
Oh, we did not.
It's under there, if it's been
Oh,
updated,
okay.
I promise you, so.
Yes, it would say, you know, like enable
Just-
finger inking, and then you say yes, and then the
Oh.
pen is freed up, and just do. You don't
Double
have to.
checking,
Yeah.
so it's not
I
even,
remember it being here.
it's not, I don't know what's going on. It's there.
Okay, let's see, the whiteboard, yes, so now we're on to the whiteboard. We are now going to show you all 2 things you can do.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, like, you know how to erase and all that,
Only
right?
this way, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
with
that
the
fast.
fist,
I like that way, it's just so much easier, right? Like, why?
you erase like that, and then over there under the pen icon is different thicknesses and colors.
So that,
You can do the, add an image,
go,
right?
board, because, you know, on, you're teaching photosynthesis, and we gotta get a picture of photosynthesis, and now we're gonna draw, around and annotate and stuff like that. Oh, you wanna go on? Okay.
You know me.
You gonna put a dog up there? It's usually, Dax's go-to is dog, so.
Dog and cat, that's it.
Yeah.
So
Seems the
there-
most
Yeah, I actually did.
Aw.
friendly out of all of the things, so, like, everyone seems to be okay with it.
Come on, doggy.
Takes a moment.
It's a sweet face.
Aww.
Yeah.
So now that we're on here, then if we wanted to, this dog's got awesome ears, so you see how that looks, and maybe I don't like this color, I'd rather go with red. Look, it's got 2 eyes, I don't know, so it's amazing.
And then what's all under
And
there,
then-
Jackie?
Yeah, so now you can add, duplicate another one if you want. You want a student to try, modeling something, you're modeling, doing something similar, you can delete that if you would like.
And then if
That's
you
smaller.
do infinite cloner,
Oh, did I not?
try it one more time.
Other side. This
It's
looks
not doing it.
Oh, it's tiny.
Oh.
Is it down there?
No, it should just make more for you all.
There
it is.
There we go.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, it's right underneath,
There
yeah.
we go.
Okay.
Yeah,
I remember
keep
that.
going
Cool.
with that.
I remember this from the other thing.
Having
So,
like
whatever, I
a
mean,
few students up here working with you, and then they have their own stuff, that's totally fine too. Save with that.
Jackie, remember, this has 10 points of touch, or no, it doesn't, because we don't have
We
finger
didn't-
inking on.
we didn't do
If
that
finger inking was on,
Uh,
literally 10 people can touch that at the same time.
Oh, wow.
And how do you take that off?
How
If you
about-
don't want them doing that?
The inking, the
finger-
finger
It's
stuff,
under,
it would have
supposed to
been
be under
right
that
under
pencil,
here.
but
then, well, again,
Okay.
we will, yes, we'll have to get you maybe some
I wanna look at-
screenshots of that for you
before we
all.
leave out of here, we'll take a look at another one of these smart boards and see if
Okay.
We can find out all that different.
Yeah.
But it should be under there, it'll say like finger inking or something like that,
It's just
to
like a
enable it
little
or not at the top.
slider
Oh,
or something.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got some images, hold on, let's see, widgets,
Mhm.
are in here, if you all haven't had a chance to try it out yet,
There's a
so.
timer.
Oh, that's a spinner.
Oh,
That's not what I wanted.
different page?
I guess it's gonna put it on. Yeah, there we go.
So with widgets, we need a timer, right, exactly. And then click on that, and then you can add more time, take away some time, but go ahead and play it, whichever it is. Reset your timer,
Reset, mhm.
okay, on that. Get this away. And then as you can see, it's up or down, however you want.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
on that.
that's under widgets.
Widgets,
Yeah.
yep, and then now I don't like it, well, actually, I think under settings, there's a way where you decide, I want it to make a sound at the end, or no
Oh.
sound at all. It's like, I
Okay.
want the alert to come on when the timer's on.
Is there a way to save that, like, on another page if you wanna come back to the timer? Or keep it displayed
be.
all the time?
So go add that timer back in.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's on home page.
So we're on
That's what I like.
page 2.
Okay.
All we do, this is like when you get into this, think about it like a slide deck, even though it's
Okay.
whiteboard. So all we're doing is adding whiteboard after whiteboard after whiteboard.
Mhm.
That's a new
Instead
page.
of, so go back up to page
So,
1,
you can
scribbling,
see right
Oh,
there.
okay, you
and
just,
then go back to page your timer,
it's up or down, okay.
which is right there.
Mm.
Okay.
Yep, you definitely can do that.
And then as you can see, math teacher, right, I'm assuming because math illustrated.
We do some of everything.
Oh, okay, you can have a ruler pull up.
Oh.
Excuse me. Move that out of the way, so here's your ruler pulled up this way. You can, again, switch to
Centimeter.
centimeter, inches, however, you can also rotate.
No.
So you wanna make a drawing on a graph or whatnot, and especially these white pages, they have, graph or no graph or anything like that too that you would like.
We kinda
Tells you the
skipped-
degree of where it's on, whichever. Make the ruler smaller or larger, again, for like, I want 2 students working here, so we're just gonna give them some space on that.
You can put in another one too, 2 rulers or how many,
Yep.
however you need it.
However you want to do that, let's see what else.
That might have been good for that number line assignment we just saw, right?
Yeah.
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 And we
So,
skipped-
kids like to manipulate sometimes, and it seems like he really wanted to do something, move around.
We can do it,
Which one?
just go to add another page.
Okay. Like what? Okay.
We kinda skipped over that.
The choices you have in terms of how you want your pages to look. So, they could do like a graffiti wall, if you want it, do a shout it out, they walk in, how you feeling today? Boom, 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 sometimes, it's just aesthetically, sometimes it draws them a little bit more, whichever, or if you want this and you put a picture in there, that's your prompt already, and then they can come out and do their writings or whatever, before they even sit down, go to the board, check in. So, and see what else, yeah. Or you could always go old school steno pad, right? I always love this for some reason, it just,
Yeah.
it's so nostalgic. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. The dice is in terms of if you wanna randomly pick somebody, right? You're number 4, you're number 3, and then it'll roll for you. That way, you can decide on how many, I believe, faces. And that's a number 4. Can't remember, oh, maybe, can you? I thought you could. There we go. Settings on that, and so,
okay.
then you can decide in terms of, if it's text, do you want somebody's initials, do you want somebody's,
Oh, wow.
however, a color they like or something. They can change colors as well. That's on the back. I think.
Oh,
So we
Wow.
like the blue instead, however you want. Oops,
If we get out of that, is it there?
there we go. Oh, sorry, Jack. I keep.
Mhm.
Whoever is, takes a moment. Whoever's A. Let's see, I think for the most part, other things, a spinner, same thing, however you all want it that way. Now, let's see.
But the
We've
magic,
got the manipulatives, or the elements.
the elements are under, so this is widgets here.
It's this little, with the multiple shapes, that's your widgets.
But the big stuff that I like, I mean, those are good, they're handy.
Yeah.
But
And then
these are even more
these-
handy in my opinion.
Or what they call pre-made resources, or elements or whatnot. So you've got your graphic organizers. Jack loves the mind mapping one, so you can put that right up there. You've got kids coming up. You know, here's the topic, so tell me a little bit more about it. Or they're brainstorming, working on something together. Go. You've got a bunch of different things. Just keeps on going. Right, and it just depends. Our famous, our very famous Venn diagram, as always, right there. That the bracket might come in handy for you all sometime.
It's
February, March,
sometime in the
something like
future,
that.
like March, you know.
Or if you're doing taxonomy science, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But in terms, and then you've got, there's your, they used to have a little bit more of an upper line, but now it's like a blank upper line.
Oh,
So that they
okay.
can go on that, right, like that, wherever they want. And again, and yeah, I'm not sure if you all did see it, so this is your real large, this is your real document. So you can
Okay.
go move away or whatever, and then that's of course the, where it's showing. Did I? Yeah, I did, didn't I?
How did you
Did that
do
I
that?
happen?
don't know.
What is happening here?
And that's the full document.
Oh.
I know. All of a sudden, I was able to.
Weirdo, not the smart
Both.
boy.
Okay. Because I remember for myself, I did it one time and a student moved it and I thought I lost everything. Until, yeah, go into that. Okay, much better.
I wanna know why it's making these red marks occasionally.
I was able to, but, you also have manipulatives. So again, these are actually kind of fun. So if you were working with money in terms of that you are working, let's say, with shapes. What about those things? Well, you can, yep, there you go, move that around this way. What has 4 sides? I don't know, or something, and then they pick out and then put this over here.
Social studies.
Let's see, there goes the number line again with, okay, number line with all of the, could go this way. For instance, okay, if we were to do -10, card,
Yeah.
now I can't put my number other than,
It's called in there.
there we go, plus, let's see, what do we want? We want a,
She's already lost me.
no,
Yes, talk to me about presidents when we get there.
it won't even matter, you don't even have to use this, obviously, right? So, -2, and now I wanna know, what does it equal? So, maybe a student would want to try that out, however you all want, not exactly, this is not exactly right, but.
But check out, look, she's been adding all this stuff in there. Put something else in there real quick.
Oh, okay.
Just fix that.
Okay.
But notice how many, whiteboards we're up to now,
Yeah.
so she can go all the way back to the timer, which was like the second thing that we did. It's still there, it's like a slide deck, okay?
So, and then you could go up or down, however, if you click on the slide deck itself, it shows you how many slides you actually have, and then you can randomly, you can pick an intention. That way, so instead of having to go with the up and down all the time to find it. So. Very cool.
Jackie, let's check these slides, our own slides, before we even forget. Sign in
And then
do
we're gonna have the
do
student
that.
view.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
what else is up there, anything?
Just to shout it out.
Widgets and-
For the most part, that's, yes, so now we're at the point where I'm laughing.
Yeah, so let's go, oh, there we go, we're lost.
Did I just do it?
That's the one, right? So to me, this is all great, the kid, like one kid at a time up here, but the big thing that you could do, let's
Yeah,
find
do it.
our the web thing, one I like.
Oh, okay.
What slide is that? So we'll just use this one for instance, most of you got your devices, or at least 2, 3 of you can play along. So in addition to the little sign-in thing, there are these little people right here. So as soon as you click on those little people, it will bring up this website, okay? You guys go ahead and do this, if you got a device or phone or whatever, type in hellosmart.com and join this, and anything that I have up here is gonna be pushed to the kids' stuff, to the kids' screen, and you guys can interact with it on your device.
And
Will it change it up there? And it'll show what they do?
yes, live. That's another something though, it's a good and a bad, right? So you've got to kind of discuss with your student what's appropriate, what's not appropriate to be kind of sharing, when it's live and everybody can see all at one time too.
Because Glenn could write up in there, write poop, and then everybody sees poop, right?
Don't give me ideas.
I know. So, and
He was
if you're
already in
lucky,
your mind.
it's just poop that Glenn decides to share that day, right? It could be a lot worse, so.
And you can have it teacher pacing, so in the classroom, everybody's on here, or you have you have a student that's just not really, like, they wanna do their own thing, they're very individual, but the rest of the class can, or whatever, whichever way, you can do student or teacher, pacing. So the student would be they're going through it on their own,
Yeah,
individual.
so we got 4 slides, so they would be going through those 4 slides on their own versus us, that's only gonna go. So we're gonna
Okay.
start that.
Start our session. In a moment, we should, it's a little delayed, so that's with a lot of technology.
Works with the internet, so that's gonna work.
And Jack's putting up the prompt.
It's kind of like in those PLCs when it's
It's
sticking
not
it
very good, but that's supposed to say, what did you learn?
Yes.
You guys see that? Did anybody
Yeah.
join?
Yes.
And then you now can go ahead and pick a circle, and
Okay.
if you wanna try that, write something in there,
See what-
and then we'll see what pops up.
We have an area that you can.
I'm not right on it.
Mm-hmm. I think you need to put edit.
Oh, you know
edit it.
what, I'm sorry.
Is there something I
We
need
didn't do
to-
a whole class.
to give
We
us
didn't do the whole
freedom,
class. Sorry, hold
permission?
on. Give us a moment.
Okay.
We have to add it.
Now, did they
Yes.
It disappeared.
Class.
Oh, okay. All right.
Did that do it?
Let's see. Did it?
No?
What are we doing up here?
No, you have to do it in class though. Hold on. Give us a moment, we're gonna stop,
Okay.
do a stop session for a second.
All right.
And then.
Did every student?
Yeah.
We're gonna grab lunch and come back, is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna run